Hey guys, hope you're doing well and great. Alright, for today's content, we are going to talk about two methods to start your virtual kitchen business. Alright, we are going to talk about the entrepreneur methods as well as the incubator methods. As you know that a virtual kitchen is not limited to any business owners, or if you are a chef, if you are a culinary students, if you are already operating your restaurant or a food service business. I just want to let you know that this is a good information for you, how to get into virtual kitchen business with these two methods. So let's get into the content for today. Alright guys, let's get into the topic for today. So our topic is two methods to start your virtual kitchen business. We are going to talk about the methods of incubator and the methods of entrepreneur. Right. So this is a kind of a hot and emerging trends right now. If it's in your ballpark, or if you already own a restaurant, a bar, a cafe, a kitchen, this play actually is not a brainer game, you know. So before we get into the two main methods to start your virtual kitchen business strategy, you might be wondering why bother opening a virtual restaurant in the first place, right? So there are many missing opportunities in the food industry, and most of them are not even aware of the new trends. So that's what we want to share and discuss about it, right? So let's get into the first method, which is the incubator method. So the incubator approach to virtual kitchen, and this is specifically for a restaurant. So if you're a restaurant owner, you own a bar, you operate a cafe, or you own a commercial kitchen, right? This is for you. So this method is about using existing staff and a kitchen facility to launch virtual restaurant within existing restaurants to capture the growing demand, or which is the digital demand from hungry diners without increasing their labor, right? So basically, you are going to use all whatever you already have it, but you will be always supplementing kind of an additional service to your customers. So the incubator approach, you can come up with the unique restaurant concept, a new name. You can just register a DBA, a new name for this particular concept, right? And create a new logo and a new menu, and then sign up to one of or the several third-party service. And if not, then you can also create your set your own delivery system. Okay, so no additional storefront to manage because you already have a restaurant or established business location. You don't need to pay additional rent, no additional staff required at all. All right. So there have been some glowing success stories of restaurants breaking into virtual restaurant space by using their existing facilities to incubate a brand new virtual restaurant. Sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you try to increase, foot traffic to your restaurants. Factor you have zero control over will limit your ability to get your kitchen delicious food to the hungry mouth searching for a meal. So, if you are operating, or you have an established, or you already have a location, right? You have the staff, you have the equipment, everything is already there. The only thing is that you need to create one model, right? And that will be your virtual kitchen model. You're going to give it a new brand name and create a different menu, right? And also, you don't even have to pay anything at all, right? It just kind of virtual stuff that you are going to be creating for people who can order it from online or from website or from app, right? So if you're in a positions to experiment, then starting a virtual restaurants incubator in your kitchen can be an easy way to increase your incremental sales revenue without adding more labor cost, right? The only thing that you would need is ingredients for this new concept. But if you already have, or if you are in the same line of business or menu, then you don't even have to worry about your additional ingredient cost, right? The only thing is that you just have to instruct your teammates or your chef to be ready about the new product, the new concepts that you guys got it, right? So if you own or manage a restaurant, where would I start to build my own virtual restaurant concept? So this is a good question, right? Every restaurant owner or managers have this question. Where will they start to build their own virtual restaurant concept? It's very, very easy. The first thing is, first start by taking a look at what food options were available nearby, right? So do your research. It's very easy. Just log into Google and look for a restaurant or a food service. List all those services or the type of the food, right? Say for example, um, you have pizzas, burgers, right? Asian food, the Japanese food, the Korean food, right? The Mexican food. Probably chances are that you may not have the Mediterranean food, right? Probably you may not have the Indian food. So that is something that you can fill the gap. That's what you have to do, right? So first, all you're gonna do is you have to list down what are the other restaurants or the food service within the next 10 minutes or within the next 2 miles or 3 miles nearby your place, right? You're gonna list them out. So to figure out what is the other product or the other food menu that nobody else is providing within your location, right? Or nearby location. So with that, you just have to fill the gap because you are trying to fulfill whatever the needs and maybe the wants of your customers. So that's a very easy way to come up with what would be the concept or what would be the product line that you're going to be launching or releasing with a brand new name in your own restaurant. Just go through this presentation once again, guys. You will have a lot of information and you will come up with your idea as well. So now let's move towards the entrepreneur approach to virtual kitchens. About the entrepreneur approach, I already have mentioned a lot in my previous content video as well. So if you have questions about all those, please do. Uh, once this, once you watch this content, please do watch my other video as well. We have a playlist. It's a virtual kitchen resource. You can browse around the list of the videos where I have explained about virtual kitchen as an approach by the entrepreneurs or people who all wants to start a new business, right, in food industry. So if you are an entrepreneur looking for a hot new business idea, right, starting your own virtual restaurant in an industrial kitchen and testing a few different concepts might give you the challenge and success you are looking for. There are some entrepreneurs who are going all in on the virtual kitchen concept. The only thing that you have to do different from the restaurant, the incubator approach, is that you have to rent the property, right? And then you have to set it up the entire thing by yourself, and also try to understand like what is the product that you would be creating that is not going to compete with anyone which is nearby the location that you want to operate. All right, so this is one of the big and a growing slice of the food market, right? Or in the business. You cannot ignore this right now because this is kind of a very trending business model. So if you're an entrepreneur, this is a great opportunity. As I have earlier mentioned, Mr. Beast has also, started his own burger as an items, but it's all the kind of virtual kitchen stuff. But then you have a Wiz Khalifa as well, right? Now, and there are a lot of people in New York, Seattle, California, Chicago, right? There's a lot of entrepreneurs who have jumped into this business model because they know it. What's the future and where is this business model heading towards, right? So at the end, whether you are an incubator or more of an entrepreneur, there are many great options and opportunity in the market to grow your business successfully. If you're going to tangle with starting a virtual kitchen restaurant, you're going to need delivery system that does not rely only on a third-party delivery app, but also set your own delivery system in place to operate successfully, right? So, okay, so if you are a restaurant owner, or say if you're incubators or you are an entrepreneurs, right? Focus on delivery to customers within 10-minute radius, or I would say no more than 2-mile radius, right? Because you don't want to get delivered customers who are beyond 3 miles. That's going to take a long time. If you are especially in a city, then there's going to be issues with the traffic and all those routing systems. So there's going to be a delay all the time. So you don't want to create that kind of a delayed environment, but delivery of food as fast as possible to the customers. So you might also want to consider the radius, that how far that you would like to cover, and also at the same time understand that within this 10-minute delivery radius or 2 miles of radius, who are your possible competitors. If you know it, then do not try to compete with them. Instead, create a different menu, because you have a lot of flexibility in coming up with your entrepreneur approach to serve the customer in the food service industry, right? So the entrepreneur approach makes testings out and a lot of new concepts, menus, and market easier and faster thanks to the drastically reduced overhead, right? So a ghost kitchen required less space to rent and less staff to operate a restaurant with a storefront, and compares to the restaurants, right, that have a dining room. So here's one thing that we have to know it, right? Either you are entrepreneur, or you want to start your own concepts as a virtual kitchen, being an owner of a restaurant, a cafe, bar, or a commissary kitchen, or a commercial kitchen. What you want to know is, why do you have to do this, right? But why? Why now, right? Because you want to focus who's going to be your customers. Your customers are going to be the millennials, right? You want to focus on the millennials. So millennials allocate the highest share of their food budgets to prepared food, about 7.5% compared to the other generation, right? So the preference for prepared food is all about convenience, and this preference is gaining priority as millennials grow up, build wealth, and become a powerful segment driving restaurant business. So here is some research on a virtual kitchen and a food service industry. According to 2015 Mintel studies, right, this prioritizing of convenience above all else is a positive for restaurant generally, given the ease of eating out versus preparing at home. So it is especially advantageous for those offering delivery and to-go service in this food service industry. The only thing more convenient than eating prepared food in a restaurant is eating at home, right? So Business Restaurant Magazine also report about these things. About like 86% of consumers are using off-premises service at least monthly. 1/3 of them use them more than they did a year ago. So there's going to be a lot of demand in it. So you got to be preparing for all those, right? In fact, a study by Morgan Stanley predict that by 2022, digital food delivery may engulf about like 11% of the total market compared to 6% it is at today. This is about 2021, right? The same study found that 43% of the consumer who order food for delivery say it replaced a dining meal at a restaurant. So in either case, be sure to weigh the pros and cons carefully before you invest on a virtual kitchen business. This information is just to give you a heads up, get the clear results whether you should invest in the virtual kitchen business or not. All right, guys, if this content was helpful for you, please do share your comments, your feedback, and your suggestions in the comment section. And not only that, if you'd like to attend the training course, the link in the description, please do join the training program. And if you have any questions before you join, please do feel free to ask me anything that you'd like to know before you proceed to enroll for the course. All right, guys, until the next video, you stay busy, you stay positive. Cheers.